is the Magnate.
Hello, you welcome to this week's edition of the Magnate. The Magnate is a program that parades professionals from diverse backgrounds. Any kind of business at all, will bring them to you so that you can be mentored on television and you have an opportunity to grow your business. Today, we are continuing with our conversation we started last week. We have knocked the door on the office of the Director General of the Lagos State Procurement Agency, and he has gladly opened his door for us to continue our conversation. And he is Mr. Fatai Idowu Onofowote. You're welcome back to the program,
Pleasure
sir.
to be here again.
Thank you for the insight you provided the last time.
Yes, always a
Okay,
pleasure.
we are talking about procurement and the way it relates to different ministries and parastatals under government. Now let's talk about the method, the various methods of procurement, the way that people should do about it. Are there specific methods the procurement processes should go through?
Thank you so much. There are different procurement methods. Now, sometimes about the complexity of the project. Sometimes it's about simply how simple the project is. You hear about international competitive method, where you don't have the local expertise
Okay.
to do the job.
Okay.
So you go out there, you use international competitive bidding and allow people from outside the country to participate.
Bid. A good example may be road construction.
It could just be some type of bridges
Okay.
that you have
Julius
never
Berger
found.
and so many other
So you've never found such bridge around here, but you want to bring it in. So it could be very novel. So you do international competitive bidding.
Okay.
You hear national competitive bidding. Under the circumstance, only companies that are registered in Nigeria will participate.
That's the international companies.
No,
now.
national competitive
Okay.
bidding, including those international companies that are registered in Nigeria. They
okay.
can also participate.
Interesting.
So you heard about that. These are open competitive bidding, which are the default procurement method. You also hear other methods. You hear about limited international bidding. Limited because those that have that product that you want are not too many. They are few. So instead of going everywhere,
you
just focus on those organizations. Then you hear about national shopping. National shopping, that is actually not for big contracts. So you have existing database, you have grouped them, and from among those within your database, you identify their area of core competence and invite them and evaluate them and arrive at the most competitive, the most responsive among them. Do you also hear about direct?
Not necessarily the cheapest.
Not price is in least consideration.
Okay.
Technical capability take precedence over prices in procurement because your focus is quality, and you don't want things that will not endure. You want to procure things that will last with you for a long time.
Okay.
Then you hear about direct contracting. It means that there are people that you might have tested over and over again, and they have proven themselves.
Stood the test of time.
They have stood the test of time, and as a result of that, in jobs that you are doing or you want to continue, instead of wasting time
for bidding,
doing the process again,
just call them.
You call them, they submit their quotes, you review it. When you agree with it, you mobilize them to site.
Okay.
You will have saved a lot of time. You will not, so you are eliminating wastage.
And even money, because
so
when you do bidding, you are entertaining
you are
and
doing
everything.
all sorts. So you are saving. That's why I say sometimes complexity determines what method you are using.
Okay. Now, something, okay.
Okay, I wanted to mention a particular one called force account.
Okay.
So where you have invested in equipment and you are invested in human capital development, you can save costs using force account.
Which one is that?
That's also the one that you know as direct labor.
Okay. In fact, you are preempting me because that's the next one I'm going to. Direct labor, when it comes to direct labor, you know, that is where those that are tagged artisans, that's where they come in. I mean, the area of bricklaying, the area of carpentry and all of that, you understand? How well have you done this to the extent that you create wealth and provide jobs for the downtrodden?
Thank you so much. That is one reason why procurement recognizes direct labor. Because if it's about skilling up artisans, that is an opportunity to do so. That is why our vocational education becomes very, very relevant.
Another ministry you are
Another relevant ministry where we are building skills of the young people to have knowledge and to be able to handle masons, plumbing, mechanical activity. That is where one reason why procurement recognizes direct labor. Because there could be a reason why you acquire equipment and encourage people that have been trained in some of these vocational educational centers to utilize those equipment and to achieve what you need to achieve.
Okay, what came out from your submission earlier is the issue of the categories or method that you enumerated. International bidding, national bidding, and all of that. Sometimes ago, we had a session with a structural or civil engineer where we put to them or put to him, how do you begin to recognize the expertise of our Nigerian workforce, particularly in the engineering sector? Earlier on, we talked about bridges.
Yes.
Instead of going international. Some of these people are so competent that they can equally do.
Sure.
But some people say maybe when you patronize the international, the profit sharing I talked about earlier is more enhanced. Is that correct?
No, not exactly correct. You see, the quality that you are looking for is usually put together in a bill. Now, the bill is usually developed by an expert within for bidders to key into. Now, that is to tell you that even within the public service, we have experts. So those experts are the one who put together what our requirements are. So it is those understanding those requirements that makes it possible for us to use local contractors, and we need to encourage a number of them. Because if we don't encourage them, if they don't develop, they cannot be talking about improvement. So it's important to encourage them. So they have professional bodies. They have people, organizations, institutions that we can report them to. And because those institutions are there, they also understand the need to maintain and ensure that their license remains and they deliver best of results.
Okay, thank you for the insight you have provided. You know, much earlier you talked about transparency, trust, and good delivery. In this era of politics, really, how do you ensure that? Particularly, and then you also alluded to the fact that town hall meeting, to make whatever procurement bidding, to make it all inclusive, isn't it?
Sure.
How fair, how have you done that so well to ensure that there's wealth creation and then all-inclusive people in this procurement we're talking about?
Thank you so much for that question. I was talking about consultative forum, which is an opportunity to take the needs from the citizen. That was how I started. I said we may not be able to meet them in a particular year, one single year. And that's one reason why we do what we call rolling plan. A 3-year rolling plan that can start. So those rolling plans will dovetail into annual budget. And as a result of that, even if it's about infrastructure, we will start. We will use the resource that is available in a particular year, achieve what we can achieve in that year, but we will have projected beyond a single year. We'll have projected over like a 3-year period. So you hear about medium-term sector strategy.
Long-term.
We hear all kinds of names.
All terms.
You hear mid-term strategy, mid-term expenditure framework, and all those budgets. So call it budget jargon.
Okay.
But they are the basis for implementing developmental programs.
Okay.
So these are the things that dovetail into the annual budget, and so we commence implementation, and so with good understanding of the procurement process, You develop a roadmap that allows you to implement what you have gathered as a result of those town hall meetings, as a result of those consultative fora that you have organized, encouraging bottom to top approach to development.
Okay, interesting. You know, when you talk of procurement, when we started this conversation, sometimes last week, I asked a very pointed question that procurement cannot be completely divorced from budgeting, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you need to tell us the relevance of budgeting, because everybody, individual, family, organizations, associations, they take budget very seriously. Say, have you brought your budgets? Let it guide us for the year. Tell us the real relevance of budgeting to procurement.
So the way it is, budgeting is about laying foundation.
Okay.
If the foundation is properly laid, so building on it becomes easy. Meanwhile, budgeting by itself is a process. And so it goes through its whole process, and the process begins from pulling needs together, now costing those needs. Putting cost to those needs gives you an idea of what it will cost you, perhaps overall, but you know where your funds are coming from. You know you are either utilizing your internally generated revenue, or you are getting some funds from federal government, or you are getting bond, or that sources of financing, or from fund from international organizations. These are your sources of funds. So you understand that. As a basis of that,
you budget accordingly.
So you budget accordingly. So if you are talking about several trillion in Lagos today, it's because we understand those sources where our funds are coming from. And as a result of that understanding, we pull needs together, then put cost to them as a way of our own planning, plan it properly. Now, all of this revolves around the ESCO as well as the legislative arm of government. The governor, representing the executive arm, presents a budget to the legislative arm. Now, the legislative arm receives. Now, invites ministries to defend their figures.
Their budgetary figures.
Yes. So upon that defense, they are satisfied. So both the executive and legislative arm will approve. So at the end of the, maybe beginning of a new year, it becomes a law. So you hear about appropriation law. So that appropriation law has to, that's what we run with.
Okay, that's what.
And that's where you hear about, you cannot do viamento, you must have vote.
Okay.
You cannot cross from your ministry to another ministry to take fund. That means that your thought process must be good at the time you are planning. So don't forget I spoke to planning as a foundation.
Foundation.
And so that foundation, yes. So that foundation is critical. So make it solid, lay it properly, building on it becomes very
interesting, easy. Very interesting, stimulating conversation. Has it ever happened that your procurement plan for the year either exceeds or go below the budgetary allocation?
That will always happen. And I'll tell you why.
Does it go below? What happens to the excess
It could go below. It could go beyond. And the more reason why we will tell ourselves that procurement plan is not cast in stone. Why? We are dealing with the citizens. Needs can change. Natural occurrence can happen.
True.
Emergency can happen.
True.
All of these are reasons why you may have to alter on what you originally planned. Okay. So on annual basis, it could go below, it could go beyond.
Depending on the circumstances.
Depending on the circumstance.
Interesting. Let's go for a short break. We are coming on our last lap now. This conversation started sometimes last week, and I'm sure you're enjoying it. We thank our magnate for the week, Mr. Fatai Idowu Onofowote, the Director General of Lagos State Procurement Agency. We'll be back shortly. Stay there. The Magnate is the program. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself as much as has been information reloaded for me. And that is because I'm interacting and conversing with the Director General of Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Mr. Fatai Idowu Onofowote. You're welcome back to the program again.
Pleasure to be here.
I hope you have enjoyed yourself as much as I have.
I have.
Interesting. Okay, now let's go to the nitty-gritty, sir. In your delivery so far, you have been so concerned about public, because maybe public can say your name. And that's why I've deliberately added public this time,
Good.
you know. Now, how have you considered the downtrodden in terms of the bidding or pitching exercise? In media, we call it pitching.
Good.
When you have different people coming to pitch
Yes.
for jobs.
Yes.
Is there a mechanism? Earlier when you were talking, you talked about belonging to an association or agency for sort of curtailing their excesses in case they want to default
Sure.
in what they are given. How have you ensured that their interest is put in play and it is not just the highest bidder? Particularly when you know that some of these people, they really don't have the funds in terms of the waiting period.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Perfect.
So, how do you ensure all-inclusive bidding in your processes?
Thank you. You see,
Good question, right?
Good question. as a state, we operate what we call Teams Plus agenda.
Okay, what's that one?
I will explain.
Okay.
And procurement agency cannot divert itself from the direction the state is going.
Okay.
So every letter in the Teams Plus stands for one thing or the other.
Okay.
T is for transport and traffic management.
Okay.
H is for health and education. E is for entertainment and tourism. M is making Lagos a 21st century economy. Yes. So E, the other E, is also for things related to entertainment, and then you hear about S, which is about governance and security. Then the plus is about inclusiveness.
Good.
The plus is about empowerment of women. The plus is about recognizing even the less privileged.
Good.
Talk about people
Disability.
with disability. Talk about affirmative procurement.
Action.
When that affirmative was being considered, Lagos was made a pilot state.
Wow.
Yes, because we have always been leading by example. And so by so many of the policies and the things that we
You
do,
know they carry last.
we can never carry that. So we were very deliberate, even in bringing SMEs together, including those that are led by women,
Okay.
such that they actually understand the nitty-gritty of procurement. But sometimes knowledge sharing is critical.
Key.
Very important. As I speak with you, we open a desk office to speak to women or women-led businesses, women-owned businesses. This agency has a desk office for that purpose. The whole essence is that if there's anything you want to understand, you can come to that office. You will get all the information that are required that will allow you to participate in the procurement process. So it's not a case of I don't know. The office is open to broaden and expand your knowledge. That's number one. Now, there's this saying that women are risk averse, that you don't want to take risks.
Yeah, of course. Very correct. I affirm to that.
So as a result of that, Lagos State have an office called Lagos State Employment Trust Fund that is ready and willing to support you.
Okay.
Just make sure that you do everything that you need to do, you participate in the bidding process, and you emerge. Then carry your award, go and discuss with them. You will get support.
Okay.
So that's part of the essence of that office.
Okay.
Beyond that, in the Ministry of Commerce and Cooperatives, there's a fund, a 10 billion fund that was provided for reason that I'm discussing with you. So if you find yourself in a group called cooperatives that we also promote in Lagos, that fund is there for you
To access.
So and as much as you access and also play your own part, it's an opportunity for other people who do not benefit now to also benefit later. So these are things that have been put in place by this government to ensure that those that are disadvantaged are not left behind.
Wow. It's a lot of information. And I'm sure a lot of people were not aware of this. That's the essence of you coming on this program. Now, my final question. The office that was established, due process, where the procurement agency emanated from. We hear, you have alluded to it too, that it is in a way to curtail corruption. Has that been absolute?
It cannot be absolute, but can be minimized.
Talk
Now,
to
what we
us.
are saying is this, and thank God I work closely with the BPP Federal.
Okay.
Only recently I was at the launching of a program for food procurement.
Okay.
Now, what they have tried to establish and do is to begin to put policies in place. As I speak with you, they are boasting of about 23. They are still doing more because they are doing it sector by sector.
Good.
So as they do it sector by sector, is an opportunity to manage this corruption issue that you are speaking to the extent that if you set rules, if you set standards, and follow all of those rules through, you will be able to minimize. Of course, you can't rule out the fact that there tendencies are that if you don't monitor, those excesses will be there.
Evaluation.
Now, if there are no consequences, issues will be there. But if you don't monitor, you may not even be able to establish the issues, not to talk about considering consequences. So if we play our role very well, go into the various ministries, departments, and agencies, do our review, do our audit, write our report, to ensure that you are following due process. Then carry those reports and ensure that it gets to relevant stakeholders who can act on them. Then the necessary consequence that you follow, when you start with someone, every other person will sit up.
Yes. Now, as a follow-up to that, has the establishment of due process procurement agency reduced the number of EFCC and ICPC cases in public service particularly?
As much as I may not be able to speak for EFCC, but I know that this agency have had reasons to walk into EFCC and ICPC and put forward to them every of the steps that we are taking to assist them in doing their job. But they are in a better position to speak to data as to what extent has their job been assisted or how much the procurement agency. But I know that there's a collaborative effort beyond this agency, which is Lagos State. At the federal level, there's a collaboration between the BPP office, EFCC office, and ICPC office. Just to ensure that there's a sync.
Final words. Any counsel for the public there? Your office is Public Procurement Agency. What's your final words to Nigerians?
Nigerians, one of the things that procurement has come to do is to ensure that citizens enjoy good governance. And we are consistent and we are deliberate. In all the activities that we carry out, is it in terms of ensuring that ministries, departments, and other agencies do what they are supposed to do? Is it in terms of following our scope of application to the extent that every stakeholder who must take responsibility is made to take responsibility? Is it from the local government to the various agencies of government to the ministries to ensure that accounting officers take responsibility?
Across board.
Across board.
Thank you so much.
That is what we are talking about, and we all have to do what we are supposed to do.
Okay, Mr. Fatai Idowu Onofowote, the DG of Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's been a pleasure.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Thank you so
much. I'm
much.
sure you did. The program has been the Magnate, mentoring on television, lending a voice to the growth of businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, or you're even a corporate setting, you know that this has been information overloaded, reloaded with all the enlightenment process we have garnered on the program today. Remember, you can always watch this program again on our YouTube channel, beyond being broadcast on NTA2 Lagos, DSTV 369. Join us same time next week when we shall bring you an equally cerebral guest on the program. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Call us in case you want to partner or talk to us on this program. Stay open for sponsorship. We'll be glad to talk to you on the number on the screen. Join us same time next week when we shall continue to be mentored on television and we lend a voice to the growth of your business. Bye for now.